Recently, a scandalous event has rocked British politics, drawing strong public and political attention. Sir Keir Starmer, leader of the Labour Party, is facing calls for resignation following an investigative journalist's threat to reveal a damaging secret that could ruin his political career. This revelation by Isabel Oakeshott has sparked a wave of intense criticism, not only from external sources but also within the Labour Party itself, as numerous voices urge him to step down as leader. The situation continues to escalate, raising a critical question. Will Starmer weather this crisis, or could this spell the end of his political career? But first, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to ensure you don't miss any updates. Isabel Oakeshott, the investigative journalist behind the revelations about Sir Keir Starmer, is reportedly waiting for the right moment to release additional damaging information that could further threaten his political standing. Sources suggest that Starmer may be concealing a significant and potentially embarrassing favour he received, or possibly an issue involving his family that the public has not yet learned about. This situation has thrown the Labour Party into turmoil, as many within the party begin to question Starmer's leadership, particularly in regard to his past and family. Details that, while not yet public, have been widely discussed in Westminster political circles. Although the media has yet to officially release these speculations, Labour MPs are concerned that such secrets could endanger the party's future. Some even suggest that Oakeshott may have more damaging information yet to be revealed, implying that the current revelations could be just the tip of the iceberg. If additional secrets exist, they could significantly impact Starmer's leadership capabilities and the Labour Party's future. Political analysts are now speculating on the broader implications of this story, considering what might still come to light and how it could reshape the political landscape. Many are beginning to wonder if this is merely the beginning of a series of disclosures that could seriously undermine Starmer's position. Recent polls show a significant drop in support for the Labour Party, as an increasing number of voters lose faith in Sir Keir Starmer's leadership. This scandal has been a breaking point for many of his supporters, who now feel disillusioned with the stable leadership image that Labour once represented. Instead of the image of a leader who could bring Labour back to victory, Starmer is now perceived as embroiled in scandal and lacking transparency. The decline in voter support is putting the party in a difficult position, as they no longer see a solid political vision under Starmer's leadership. Criticisms of Starmer's handling of key issues, from Brexit to rural policy, have added to public frustration. Furthermore, the revelations from Oakeshott have only intensified the situation, leading many within the Labour Party to start calling for his resignation. If the Labour Party fails to overcome this internal crisis and regain public support, the possibility of a government shift in the next elections will become even more apparent. Labour's internal weakening not only creates opportunities for opposition parties, but also sets the stage for major upheavals in British politics. Parties like the UK Independence Party, UKIP, and other political forces, especially figures like Nigel Farage, are quickly capitalising on this instability. They are pushing their campaigns, calling for political change, and attracting dissatisfied voters from Labour's base. Farage has openly criticised Labour for its lack of transparency and is calling for a political shift in the UK. He is using this moment to win over disillusioned Labour supporters, especially as confidence in Starmer wanes. Without substantial change, Labour could face a major defeat in the upcoming elections, as voters may turn to opposition parties offering a clearer message of change. The current situation for Sir Keir Starmer and the Labour Party is highly complex. With each passing day, his leadership faces new challenges, from handling scandals to dealing with significant public disillusionment. His decisions and actions in the coming months will have profound impacts on the future of both his career and the Labour Party. Keir Starmer's leadership of the Labour Party is under increasing scrutiny, as both allies and critics question whether he can recover from the ongoing controversies. This situation is also a major test of Starmer's leadership ability. If he cannot overcome these current challenges, Labour may be forced to seek a new leader to address the shifting political landscape. Without regaining voters' trust and resolving internal crises, Labour could face a major setback in the upcoming election, potentially losing its chance to reclaim power from the opposition. Speculation within the party is growing that Starmer's tenure as leader may be nearing its end, as some Labour members begin discussing potential replacement candidates should he step down. This instability stems from multiple controversies, including his approach to leadership and his public response to recent revelations. There's a sense that Starmer's reluctance to address the controversies head-on could jeopardize his position as leader. While some believe directly confronting the allegations could help him rebuild trust, others argue that silence or inaction only makes him appear guilty, further eroding his credibility. Furthermore, criticisms over Starmer's handling of critical issues such as the future of the National Health Service, NHS, and his rural policies have intensified the pressure on his leadership. On the NHS, many feel that Starmer has not offered clear and decisive solutions to address resource shortages, overcrowding, and other long-standing issues facing the public healthcare system. In the rural community, dissatisfaction is widespread, as they represent a crucial voting bloc, and their discontent could have serious electoral repercussions for Starmer. As his popularity continues to decline, with approval ratings dropping significantly, many are questioning whether he can recover. Some argue that he has taken an indecisive stance on key issues like Brexit, resulting in criticism from both Remain and Leave supporters. Labour's climate policies, although well-intentioned, have been viewed by many farmers as unrealistic and damaging to their livelihoods. Restrictions on farming methods and emissions targets have raised concerns that these policies could bankrupt small farms or drastically reduce food production output. Starmer's leadership has become a focal point of growing discontent, with many feeling that his lack of decisiveness in addressing crises not only harms his political future, but also jeopardizes Labour's chances in the next election. Whether Starmer can weather this storm or if resignation is the only remaining option remains to be seen. Others criticise his policies as lacking in substance, urgency, and clarity, while many feel he is disconnected from the struggles of ordinary people, both urban and rural. Starmer's public appearances are often criticised as overly rehearsed and lacking authenticity, creating an image of him as a career politician more focused on political manoeuvring than genuine reform. With internal doubts about his leadership capabilities and resistance from outside, especially rural voters, Starmer's future as leader appears increasingly uncertain. His ability to navigate these controversies, including the rising dissatisfaction within the Labour Party, will determine whether he can continue to lead or if a change in leadership is inevitable. This perception is worsened by his tendency to evade tough questions and avoid directly addressing scandals, raising doubts about his transparency. As a result, long-time Labour supporters are beginning to question their loyalty. Starmer's approach to issues like rural policy has drawn criticism for its apparent lack of understanding of the needs of agricultural communities. In contrast, Starmer's political opponents, particularly Nigel Farage, have seized this opportunity to position themselves as champions of rural concerns. Farage has criticised Starmer as an out-of-touch elite politician, disconnected from the realities of working people, especially those in farming. This strategy has helped Farage attract support from Labour voters who feel the party no longer represents their interests. With the election approaching, Sir Keir Starmer's Labour Party faces a critical crossroads. Can he regain support and revive the party after this crisis, or will weaknesses in his leadership drive him toward defeat? The current situation places Labour in a precarious position, and without decisive changes, his grip on leadership seems increasingly tenuous. All eyes are watching closely. Could this scandal be the final straw, ending Starmer's political career? The future of both Starmer and the Labour Party hangs by a thread, and only time will tell whether he can turn the tide.